Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's Bebop here, and shiggity giggity bam, how about a schwap? This video is about gear sets. Now, we all know in M3, I've gotten comments in my stream recently about the community of M3 runners are toxic and whatnot. There is a certain validity to that. And this video is basically going to show why we in the M3 community need to chill out on gear so much. Now, this set I am running in an M3 Glacial Tarn is a medium set. It's right at, well, close to the very top of medium, almost into heavy, but if you're going to get into medium, you might as well go to the tippy top so you have all the protection you can. And I think I'm around 1800 or so protection for physical and elemental in this set. But I'm playing with the rapier and the musket. And I wanted to show you that you can definitely go medium and still do good damage and still be a value to your team. So I took the highest DPS weapon in the game. Also spec'd it out with the musket. And I'm going to show you at 5con with the Void Dark Plate chest piece and other pieces you can fill in with whatever you want, as long as they're enchanted ward. And with the rapier, you definitely want to have 4 out of 4 refreshing with 25 focus, so you get the other cooldowns for the refreshing. It's very important. With this set, with the Void Dark Plague, that's gonna give you 20% extra armor, which is going to be huge. It's actually better to do this than to go with the featherweight. If you went with the featherweight and all the Glacial Tarn, you know, Frigid Dawn sets, it still is not going to be as good as what you can do with the Void Dark Plate. In this video, you will see me eat a lot of damage. I basically stand there in the void, let it hit me. I'm in front of the mobs. I'm not really caring. Compared to light gear, it's basically easy mode. Now, you can still get killed wearing it, but you're going to be protected a lot more. And this is 5con, so it's, you know, nothing crazy. Now, this is a really good group I'm running with here. We have good group weakening and rend and all that, so there is something to say for that. But if you're interested in running M3s, want to do good damage and be protected, then give this class a try. Now, if people have a problem with it, create your own lobby, or what you could do, don't tell them I said this, but make a light, you know, bist out, you know, gear set that you know is going to get accepted. Just put that to the side. End up making these sets with the medium and all that, which I'm medium for the main dungeon here. I'm medium for both boss fights. Both boss fights are the same set. Now, you can link the light gear and all that so they accept you. And then when you get in, just run your medium gear. By that point, they're not even going to worry or probably pay attention. And as long as you're doing good, staying up, they're going to be surprised. So in the M3 community, I will say a lot of people get like that because of how many bad runs we end up having. There's a certain amount of experience that we have that we know what's going to work in a lot of dungeons, and we know that what won't, or what may somewhat work but not as good as other things. And so that's what a lot of the toxicity comes from is, hey, we know what your setup is and your, you know, attributes and your gear. We know basically what type of player you are and what's not going to work and blah blah blah, and they can be toxic that way. Me, I look at it as an opportunity to say, how can I carry this person through the end or teach them how to be better? You know, there was a tank I was running with the other day that was new to M3s, and you could tell was new to tanking and would taunt but then be behind the shield. And us in the M3 community know that, like, that's called turtle shelling, and man, that's not what you want to see in a tank. At least he was leadership, so we had the extra 10% damage bonus, but the aggro switches were often, you gotta be active as a tank. And long story short, he was cool. He took the advice, told him about my channel. Hopefully he checks it out, or I can even, you know, have him watch when I stream. But it's people like that where I want to try to run with them and get through it. Now, if we don't get all the way through it, or like on that run, we got to the last boss fight and we couldn't get through, but we tried it a few times, and he learned, hey, cool, I'm down with leaving, and we'll just come back a different time. He can go to M2s and practice some more stuff he's learned and then move up. it's cool. You know, but there are a lot of people out there that are very short-tempered, and they want you to have the best gear, the best weapons, and never go down and do the ultimate damage and the speed runs. And most people that are left in this game are either hardcore veterans or people that are coming up learning. So they need to be more cognizant of that, and just be glad that people are there trying to get in and try to help them. Now, here in this boss fight, it is the troll in Glacial Tarn. If you're going to be melee, be very careful. Now, I'm on the Nisa server, but being here in Texas, there's going to be about 165 to 195 ping. So I need to be aware of that. And also, you need to be aware of your abilities. Now, I know the Tondo on the rapier is kind of locked in animation. It takes a second. So I need to be very careful when I use it. So you will see my DPS is a lot more methodical and slowed down right here. Right there, I knew if I Tondoed, you turned around, I'm dead. So just slow it down, stay up, just dodge, wait for the ice to hit in front of you. Don't freak out. All right, let's get back to it. Tondo, while he was in the middle of animation, that's when you really want to time things out. And just get ready to dodge. This part is pretty easy. Once you run it off, I mean, you shouldn't get hit by those. Watch out for the hands here. When he pulls back, boom. If you're on the side, you'll get knocked. Now right here, you can keep running all the way around, but if you just dodge the initial dropping, then they shouldn't spawn too much behind them. Now, we got unfortunate there because he, you know, dodged away, being that there's ranged. But you could basically just move, the initial sickles will hit, and you just go right back to DPSing. Initial hits, go back to DPSing, not a big deal. They're more after the ranged people than they are of you in melee. Right here, you can flurry through that. If you are ranged, try not to stand behind the DPS because, ooh, just took those hits just fine and medium. Try not to stand behind the DPS. You can go in front of the boss and get headshots all day on this guy, and you're going to do just as much damage. If you're behind the DPS that are melee and that guy turns, a lot of times you'll get DPS killed that way because they're not going to be expecting it, and they're not slowing down their attacks. They're just, you know, going full speed. So just be aware of that if you're in range behind where the boss is.
Oh my fucking see the game.
Right here, you're going to see me staying in to just eat all the void, not even worried about it. That's one thing with void mutations. Those snaps on the ground, man, you could try to leech and flurry through, but sometimes it doesn't matter, man. Those things hit ridiculously hard. Medium gear like this, nah, ain't even going to bother you. I love this pull in the game with the musket. I'm not even worried about that guy hitting me because I'm basically tanked out. And we're good. Don't want to try to get the revive here because you could bet he'll get hit right on the revive. You'll get blamed for farming him. Ooh. That hit I just took would have knocked me in light 100%. Always go back, get the fire here, and put on the human ward pot. You can put on the coating in the menus while you're running up once you get out of combat. And that way when you approach this new group, you do not have to worry about getting the fire and coming back. What we're going to do here, I believe is... No, we're not skipping here. Okay, we're fighting. What I like to do with the musket, usually it's just get a good burn bleed on them. That initial powder burn is usually around 1800 to, I'm sorry, 800 to 1200, burn for 9 seconds. It's just such a good, bleed to have on. I'm not worried about this guy because I'm medium, big tank gear basically, and I'm chilling. All you gotta do is just dodge the slams. Block when he stomps and then roll. Or dodge. Oof. That ice that explodes right there, man, does hella damage. Now I'm messing around with the musket on these pulls like this. I love just hitting the group when they're gathered up like that. Oh man, if I was speed running, I'd just be up there with the musket. I'd hit them with the initial powder burn, but after that, I'd be up there with the rapier. I wouldn't be on the musket much. Ooh, nice tank. Nice hammer. Always got to keep your eye on both enemies here. Because that guy does a stomp, you need to be looking to dodge, and if this mage is in the air like that, you need to be ready to dodge again, just like that. That was perfect, Bebop. Oh, thanks, man. I'm just trying to help. Well, you're just amazing at it. I know, man. You know what I'm saying, man? All right, let's move on to this human part. All right, don't DC on this part. I don't know how to tell you not to, but good luck. This, I usually like to switch my stats to con. I keep a musket on me for the movement speed because I've DC'd on this part so many times. It scares the living heck out of me. The enemies don't scare me, the DC scares me. I don't even touch that button. I don't touch the orb before. I'll go do the last button and that's about it. Second or last? Tell me where you want me to be. I might start rocking the wing leather shoes with the Alacrity amulet and these ice mutations, man. I'm tired of moving slow, bruh. I do like to line these two up and get some shots off just for fun. Gonna stand in here and eat damage, and I was wanting to see if I'd get knocked. It gets a little weird right here. I can't get behind the enemy. I don't know what's going on. It's just jacked up. And that guy probably tried to dodge, and that's what got him killed was that rock right there. We couldn't move. I'm just gonna stand in and take the damage. And our healer is void blading, so I think he's running 250 focus. Well, we're still just fine here. Now walk across the fire right here. No, I was kidding. Not that much protection, bruh. All right, on this lightning guy, I've come to find if you block the initial lightning but move forward, I felt like I kept getting knocked doing that. So instead, like there was a second wave of the lightning. So instead, I just block and I stand still for about 2 seconds. Now normally I wouldn't be doing the musket thing over here, but you know, here lately I've just been messing around with the musket, man. I have a good time with it. All right, time for the boss fight. Now I have a slash amulet here, and I believe it has 33 con or 32 con. So I think that's gonna put me at like what, like 39 con, 40 con. With this boss, if you're gonna be melee, slash amulet, everything else ice, and you're gonna have to watch for his attacks. There's timing in between his attacks that you can time without worried about getting slashed up. Sometimes it may be a little weird and you still might get hit, but I'll kind of go over that as we progress through the fight. But you're always going to need to keep your head on a swivel. You're going to need to be looking back all the time because this dude's going to throw stuff at you. And if you're not with the pre-made group that's all in Discord or community in game, no one's going to call out when he's throwing the ice sickle at you or the ice wave at you. So you need to be very aware in this fight. This makes this fight extremely difficult. Plus all the movement he does and moves the tank around, plus all the damage coming from everywhere. It's just, this guy's annoying. Not a fun boss fight like the first boss fight in this, the troll. This one is just annoying. But in between the slashes, you can attack. Like right now I can attack back up and back up. You know, you got to just time those correctly. And all the movement he's doing right there, if I don't know how I didn't get slashed up. Right there I did. Right here, you're not going to do any damage to him, but you can apply stacks of bleed or rend. Usually it'll say invincible or whatever at that time, where it doesn't show any damage numbers. Just stack your bleeds up, get ready to pop when he gets up. Watch out for the random attack. He just picks someone randomly and goes after him, usually the farthest person away from him. Charge. You got that to watch out for. The icicles falling, him randomly throwing stuff at the range. You know, even if you're not far ranged. So much going on. Ice on the ground that is doing hella damage. Breath coming in. Now you got to watch for him throwing stuff as you're running. There's a lot going on in this fight, man. Right here, you can get caught up getting your teammates killed with the ice just like that. He was targeting me. My teammate was behind. He had no clue. Did I get on voice comms and tell him? I don't know if I did or not. I'll just say, yeah, I did, man. How'd he die? But I don't know.
Oh my god.
Oh, he did. Now, if you're here without a healer, ooh, good leg, bruh. Hope you got a rapier for leeching flurry. Always be aware of the ice bomb dropping. I don't know what the boss is doing right here. Now, I'm really close to the boss, so I'm watching for the symbol above my head, which is the wrong move. I need to... Ooh, kind of got him lined up. What you can do with the musket at times, most times it's not going to work out right, but if you do go shooter stance, you better have this boss somewhat in your peripheral, because if you can't see him and he aims at the other guy, you're not going to know it, and you're going to take ice. Oh, back shots, baby. Giggity, giggity, giggity. Ooh, bow. Ooh, I got lucky. Don't do that, Bebop. Ah, you suck. I got hit by something, and then the ice on the ground finished me off. So, anyways, we ended up finishing gold. I'm gonna skip to the end and go over the end part. Here we are at the end of this fight, and the random ranged attack that the boss does. The other guy keeps thinking he's getting aggro, but it's actually just the range attacks the boss does, whoever's furthest away. he was screaming that every time. It's so funny, dude. Jesus. Oh my God, bro. But yeah, that's it. And so don't be afraid. If you have someone sign up with medium and they're 5 con and they got their stats somewhat right, you know, and they got good enough gear, they might know what they're doing and do just fine at damage. You know, don't be afraid to try new sets, and let's not be so picky out there. But Glacial's a pretty tough dungeon, and yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.